Now that you've learned the knit stitch in the previous video, the purl stitch is your next step. In case you haven't watched the first video, the link is in the description. Hi, I'm Karina with Stitch and Yarn Circle, making learning to knit and crochet simple and fun. I've created a free ebook about yarn, providing information on thickness and types of fiber, making it easier for you to choose the right yarn for your next project. In this video, you'll see 3 different ways to purl so you can discover which one feels most natural in your hands. Take your time, follow along, and notice how each method forms the same stitch. Join me at the hand cam so you can start learning the first way to purl. Welcome to the hand cam. So today we're going to learn how to do the purl stitch. It's spelled P-U-R-L, and it's the second building block in making a knitted fabric. Today we're going to continue on with what's called the garter stitch, and it looks like this, where you just have a series of ridges, and each ridge is 2 rows. So the bottom part is the knit stitch and the top part is the purl stitch, and they look the same because you're knitting every row or you're purling every row. My thought is that it will make it easier for you to learn how to do each if you don't have to keep alternating. And we'll talk about other stitches where you will alternate the knit stitch on the right side and the purl stitch on the back, on the reverse side, however, or the wrong side. However, today we're just focusing on the purl stitch. I'm going to show you how to do 3 different purl methods. The first one is called throwing. Full disclosure, this is not the way that I knit, but I have been practicing just for this video so that I can show you in a smooth, easy way for you to understand how to do it. Now I have added a way so that you don't have to use your index finger or your thumb to push off the yarn, because once you start knitting, your fingers can get sore from the tips of the needles. So this is what we're going to be making. In a future video, I will show you how to do this, but for right now, we're going to learn how to do this upper half, which is called the purl stitch. This is the first of 3 styles I'm going to show you on how to do the purl stitch. If you need to learn how to get the stitches on the needle or do the first row, check out the second video in this series on the playlist. I will put the link in the description. Now, this is called English style or throwing. And what we're going to do is, you can see the yarn is just laying down right here. This is the working yarn. We're going to insert the right needle into the first stitch on the left needle, grab the yarn with our right hand, wrap it counterclockwise, pull the right needle until you see the stitch catch, and then push it off with your index finger. Now you want to make sure that the stitches are all towards the tip on your left needle so it's easy to push it off. Let's do it again. Again, make sure that the yarn is in front, that your right needle goes from right to left in the front of the stitch. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise, pull it through until you can see that it's caught right here. Then push it off with your left index finger, and you can tug on it so that the stitches are consistent in size. Again, take your right needle, making sure the yarn is in front, put it from right to left in the front of the next stitch, pick up the working yarn, go counterclockwise, move the right needle to the right until you can see that it's caught right here. You can see that it's caught. Now you can use your thumb and your index finger to push the yarn off. Put the needle in the next stitch. Wrap the yarn around counterclockwise. Pull the right needle until you catch it. You can see that right there. It's caught. Use your left index finger and your thumb to push the stitch off the needle. The reason why I'm doing that is that you won't be using your fingertips and you won't have to end up with having sores on your fingers if you use a different way, like if you use the tip of your left finger or you use your thumb on the tip where your fingerprint is. You don't want to do that because it will end up hurting after you've knit for a little while. Okay, so we have 2 more stitches on this row. Wrap it counterclockwise, pull the right needle until you catch the stitch, push it off with your thumb and your index finger on your left hand. Okay, now we're going to turn it. And you can see how all these stitches are all bunched up. Leave that. Okay, I want to again make sure that the yarn is in front. Untangle this other yarn. Make sure the yarn is in front, and then you just keep going. You put the right needle in that stitch, making sure that the yarn is in front. Go counterclockwise, back out the right needle until you see it's caught the stitch, and use your left index finger to push it off. Now here's where you might want to move it up a little bit so it makes it easier. Counterclockwise, back out the right needle by pulling it towards the right. Push off the stitch with your left index finger. And give it a little tug to make sure that the tension and the stitches are all the same size. That's basically how you do English style throwing the purl stitch. And I'm just going to do this a little bit so you can see the rhythm. This is not how I purl. This is how my grandmother taught me how to purl. And I used to watch my mother knit, and I could knit and purl, and she did it so fast, I just couldn't wrap my head around it. But she had many years of knitting practice, and I chose to focus on the continental style knitting instead. Okay, so that's basically the English style throwing method to do the purl stitch. This next stitch is called the continental style or picking purl stitch. If you need to see how to get the stitches on the needle, that's called cast on, or get the first row set, then watch the second video in this series on the playlist. Okay, so I'm going to thread the yarn through my fingers like my grandmother taught me, and you'll also be able to notice it in that second video, the one right before this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab onto my baby finger, wrap it around, come up over my middle finger, and there I have it set. Now this is set up for knitting. I need to make sure that the yarn is in the front, so I pull it forward like this. Now I'm going to take the right needle and put it underneath this yarn that comes from the ball and go in the stitch. Then I'm going to take my index finger and pull it forward to make sure that I can catch it so it will go onto the right needle. Then I back it out, move my index finger back and push it off. Now I need to realign it again, and I'm going to put it in front of the left needle, come underneath the yarn, this working yarn and the stitch, take my index finger, put it over the working yarn and pull it forward, back it out with my right needle, put my left finger back behind the left needle and push it off. Now you can see that the right needle is underneath the working yarn. It's going to go underneath the working yarn and into the stitch. Then I'm going to take my left finger, put it on top of the working yarn, pull it over the top and back it out. Take my left index finger to the back and push it off. We want to push this towards the front. We can use our thumb and do it again. So make sure that your right needle is in front, go under the working yarn, go through the stitch, take your left index finger, put it on top, back it out, then move your left index finger behind the left needle and push it off. Make sure that you just tug it or push it slightly towards you so that this right needle is on top. Do it again. Under the working yarn, through the stitch, take your left index finger, put it on top of the working yarn, hold it while you catch the yarn that's just been put on the right needle, put your left index finger back and push it off. You can use your thumb to move the stitches up towards closer to the tip, and now you can see that my hand has moved the right needle behind. We need to make sure that it's in front and that we also catch this working yarn. This will not work. It needs to be in front of the left needle. Go under the working yarn, through the stitch, take your left index finger, catch the working yarn, hold it while it goes, and the right needle catches or picks the stitch. Then bring your left index finger back to push it off. Again, underneath the working yarn, through the stitch, take your left index finger over the top, guide it as it goes through, as the right needle goes through, bring it to the back and push it off. And then we have one more stitch. Again, we want to go underneath the working yarn, through the stitch, take your left finger, index finger over the top, hold it while the right needle goes through the stitch. Move it to the back and push it off. Now I'm going to turn the work, and here all you're going to do is make sure that the yarn is adjusted in the front. So take your left index finger and move it in the front. Just have it lay there. Put your right yarn, your right needle through that first stitch. Make sure you catch just the stitch, not the loop below. Take your index finger, push it over the top. Wait until the right needle catches it. Put your left index finger behind and push it off. Now make sure that you pull the stitches up towards the tip. So let's do the next one. This first stitch is a little bit hard, so you can hold on to this tail, or you can hold on to the work with your index finger and your middle finger. Go under the working yarn and in the loop for the next stitch, bring your index finger forward, wait until the right needle catches it, put your left index finger back and push it off. Now let's move these stitches up so it makes it easier. And now I'm just going to show you what it looks like kind of in real time. Again, this is not the way that I typically knit continental, but this is what it would look like. And you can see that you're just moving your index finger back and forth. You're moving your index finger forward and then pushing the yarn off, and your right hand is basically just holding the needle. So make sure that your needle is underneath the working yarn and goes through the loop. Take your left index finger, push it forward so that you can catch the stitch with your right needle. Push it and then move your index finger back and push it off. I'm going to show you one more time how to turn it. Okay, now we're gotten to the end. Turn it over. You can leave it all bunched up. That really helps. Make sure that the yarn is in the front. You can do that however you can, and just make sure it's laying there. You can use your tension, either your index finger or your middle finger, to pull it closer. And make sure that you're not going through this loop, but that you're going only through the stitch. So you need to make sure you catch just the stitch above the loop. You can use your thumb and your index finger, or your thumb and your middle finger. Now I've got it set up. It looks basically the same. I'm going to take my index finger, bring it forward so I can catch the stitch with my right needle and push it off with my left index finger. Now, you may need to get this a little bit more aligned because it's your first stitch. So you can use this index finger on your right hand to hold it and then get it set up again so that the working yarn is in front and your right needle is going through the stitch. Use your left index finger to go over the top, catch the stitch, put your left index finger back and push it off. Now bring the stitches a little bit closer to the front or the tip, and then do it again. Underneath the working yarn and through the stitch, index finger over the top, push it through, put your index finger back to push the stitch off. I think that's probably good enough, but I'll just show you one more to get the rhythm. And see right here, I didn't go through the right stitch. I don't do this normally, so you need to make sure that you're not catching this loop below, but that you're only catching the stitch that's on the needle. So you see how it's aligned with the working yarn from the ball, and go in the stitch, take your left index finger, go over the top in front, make sure that your right needle catches it, put your left finger back and push it off. So that's basically how you do the continental style or picking purl stitch. This is the third video about how to purl, and in this video I'm going to show you how to do Eastern European or Russian style. But first I need to talk to you about the differences between the Western mount and the Eastern mount and how the stitches are mounted on the needles. In this first one, this was done using continental style picking or English style throwing, the Western style. And you can see right here, there are two legs to this stitch. The front one is the leading leg, and the back one is the trailing leg. So if I were to purl, I would bring the yarn in front, put the needle in, from right to left, go over the top and back it out. That would be how you would purl in the Western style. Now, in Eastern style, the stitches are mounted in the opposite way. And as you can see here, the leading leg is in the back and the trailing leg is in the front. So in this case, I'm going to wrap it around and do it like I do continental style. In this case, I'm going to put the yarn in front and come through the back, following that leading leg, go underneath, which is how we do Eastern European, and pull it off. So the important part right here I want you to learn is the difference in how the stitches are mounted. In Eastern style, like I said, the stitches are mounted where the leading leg is in the back and the trailing leg is in the front. Whereas in Western style, the leading leg is in the front and the trailing leg is in the back. Okay, so here is the sample. I'm going to be showing you how to do the Eastern European style, and the yarn is in the front for the purl stitch. Going to wrap our fingers like we do with continental and wrap around your baby finger and over your middle finger or your index finger. And in this case, the yarn is in the front, but the leading leg is in the back and the trailing leg is in the front. So we go through the back of the stitch, rock your hand, your left hand, so that the yarn comes underneath, pick it up with your right hand and push it off. So again, we're going to go through the back because again, the leading leg is in the back. So we go through the back, rock your left hand so that the yarn comes underneath, pick it up, push it through, and push it off. Through the back, rock it so that it comes underneath, take the tip and push on it, and then push it off. So the way that you get the yarn to the right location is first we put the yarn in front, we take the right needle and come through the back, and now you can see it's over the top. We don't want that. We want to rock it so it comes underneath. Then you're going to pick it up and push it through the back, rock your hand so it comes underneath, catch the yarn and push it off. Through the back, come underneath, push it through and push it off. Through the back, underneath, push it with your left index finger and just keep going. So I'm going to show you, you turn the same way. Remember I was telling you about how you turn and you don't have to let go of the yarn? So here I have my right hand holding the stitches with the needle and the left hand holding the needle without any stitches. Now I'm going to grab the right hand needle with my index finger and middle finger and let go with my right hand, pick up the needle, carry it over the top, and then realign it and pull the yarn to the front because we're starting the row. Stick it through the back, rock your hand, and just keep going. It's the same process. So through the back, underneath, push it through, catch the stitch, and you're on your way to purling Eastern European style or Russian style. You've seen 3 different ways to make the purl stitch. English style, also called throwing, continental style, also known as picking, and Eastern European or Russian style. Now that you've watched 3 videos, you're well on your way to create your first dishcloth. As you practice casting on, knitting, and purling, the process will begin to feel more natural as you move towards creating that dishcloth. If you haven't already, watch the first 2 videos in this playlist to see the yarn I suggest, how to modify chopsticks into knitting needles, how to cast on, and how to make the knit stitch 3 different ways. When you're ready, the next video will show you 3 ways to remove stitches from the needles. Don't miss out on your free copy of the yarn guide. You'll find the link in the description below.